Championships hosted here at Caney View High School. My name is Jeff Seeger. I will be calling out some of the action today. Should be a very fast and very competitive meet between the 5 schools of the Agua Fria School District. That's Agua Fria, Caney View, your host school, Millennium, the Tigers, Verado, and Desert Edge. We are getting ready to start here. So the first race of the day, just to give you kind of a breakdown of the schedule, if you're familiar with track meets, 4x8 will start us off. Girls will go first. Looks to be about 4 teams lining up at the start line. After that, we'll have the boys 4x8. Then we'll go hurdles, girls first and then boys, followed by the 100-meter dash, the mile, 1,600-meter run, the 4x1, the 400-meter dash, then the 300-meter hurdles, the 800-meter run, the 200-meter dash, the 3,200-meter run, and the final event of the day will be the 4x4. That, of course, excludes the throwers 4x1 relay, which is a non-scored event here at the very end. If you check out now some of the top athletes that should be competing here today from each school, Agua Fria's got some sprinters. Stacy is one of the top sprinters in the state. She competed in the Arcadia Invitational just a couple weeks ago out in California, had a very good run there. Annalise Taylor is probably going to have a big meet for Caney View. She's a hurdler senior. Kind of a cool story. She did start her career at Millennium, but then transferred to transferred to Caney View, and now heads up is their sprinting, hurdles, and also relay. For Desert Edge, their top sprinter, the boy top 100-meter time in the state in Division II, Jamar Beal-Goins, also an outstanding football player. Millennium boasts Landon LeBlanc, who's one of the top distance runners in the state, and also really in Arizona history. She's had some injuries. She was also a cross-country champion earlier this year and is now set to run the mile, 2-mile for Millennium. She's headed to Oregon next year. And finally, Lambden Liggins, jumper for Verado, should be one of the top scorers for them. So like we said, getting ready to start. The girls are at the start line now, so this will be 2 laps around for each competitor, 8 laps total. There'll be 4 runners for each school. Now, meet sheets, our heat sheets are a little tricky because a lot of the athletes listed are being changed on the fly, so we do not have an accurate list of who is competing in which event, so we'll try and call these out as best we can. But you can see there, the girls are at the start line with the starter. So we will see what we have. So they're getting ready to start. The starter's down at the start line. You can see the hurdle set up for the next race. Also going on, the jumpers are getting ready, warming up, so we'll try and bring you as much of that action as we can. So girls 4x8 first, followed by the boys 4x8. Should be a pretty competitive race. Caney View had the best cross-country team, so you figure they have one of the top times here in the 4x8. Are definitely one of the favorites coming in. Caney View girls are really one of the favorites in all the relay races they are in, have one of the fastest 4x4 teams in the state, fast 4x1 team. Their 4x4 recently won their heat at the Arcadia Invitational a couple weeks ago, which is one of the top meets in the country. So the girls are down there getting ready to start. We will also be bringing you times through this live stream as best we can. These are unofficial times that you'll see pop up on your screen. Official times can be found on Race Timers. Also, I believe athletic.net will have some of your times after the meet. So we got a lot of fast athletes today. A little bit hot out on the track. So we don't expect too many super fast times, but we will have some competitive races, notably the sprints, which features Caney View, Millennium, and Desert Edge. Again, those 3 teams are some of the top 3 teams in the state. Millennium comes in boasting the best boys distance program. So we'll get started here in a second. So as you can see, Agua Fria is going to be in lane 1 to start. Millennium in lane 2. Looks like Desert Edge in lane 3 and Caney View in lane 4. So no team on the track now for Verado. So it looks like they're going to scratch. So again, each of these runners will have 2 laps around. And it looks like timers and starters are getting set. So how this will work is coming around, once they pass the other side of the track, the girls can cut in and run in the inside lanes, which is what they'll be doing. So the hurdles you see on the track will not come into play because the runners will typically stay in the first 2 lanes for both the boys and girls race. So thanks once again for joining us. CVTV broadcast of Agua Fria High School Track and Field Championships. This is one of the final meets of the year. These teams, most of these athletes will be heading to state in a couple weeks. Some will have kind of a last chance meet in the next week or so to try and improve their times to get in top qualifying times for the Division II state championships. And then following that, the Division II state championships, some of the runners will have the potential to advance to the Open state championships, which is against all divisions, not just Division II. So we're getting ready to start. And they are off. They did not hear the gun, but it is off, and Canyon View is out front. So Jaguars out front. Agua Fria trailing. Everybody else kind of in a tight pack to start here. Again, 2 laps around for each athlete. So as they come around, the final 200 meters, Canyon View's kind of fallen back a little. Millennium and Desert Edge has pulled slightly ahead. Agua Fria still trails. So it looks like Desert Edge and Millennium are going to cross the first lap, kind of neck and neck in first. Canyon View running 3rd, Agua Fria 4th. Again, a lot of race still to go. The other runners you can kind of see are off to the left, lined up, ready to go. So the second leg will come out on the track here shortly. Last year at this meet, very, very tight race between the Canyon View boys and Millennium boys. Canyon View is actually the 2-time defending district champs in both boys and girls. Canyon View won last year. Girls pretty handily. Boys was a tight finish. Canyon View had 116 points to Millennium's 98. We'll see if that reverses here as these ladies come around. Basically the final 200 of the first leg of the 800, 4x800 meter relay. So Millennium's going to hand off first, followed by Desert Edge, and then the Jaguars. Agua Fria roughly 50, 60 meters back. So there's your first exchange. Little trouble, but Millennium is out first. Desert Edge runner making up some space on the second leg here. She's coming out pretty fast. So now Desert Edge is taking a slight lead. So here they come around the final turn of lap number 1 second leg. Desert Edge is taking the lead, just a step or two in front of the Tigers. Canyon View back. Yeah, I would say about 30 yards, 30 meters back. So one more lap to go. Again, we're going to try and bring you some of the other action as best we can. Some of the jumps, the throws. Over on the north side of the field right now, the triple jumpers, high jumpers are warming up, getting ready to go. Looks like the girls' long jump might be underway officially. They were warming up earlier. The javelin actually was competed yesterday. We will try and get you those results as soon as possible. So Millennium and Desert Edge still out front, pretty comfortable, but still 2 more legs to go. So here they come. So Desert Edge and Millennium coming down the final straightaway of the second leg of this first 4x800 meter relay. So Desert Edge is going to make the exchange first. Millennium right on their tail. Jaguars will cross in third. So Millennium's taking a slight lead now, starting to pull ahead. Candy View runner coming on strong. Closing that gap. So as they come around the final straightaway, again, this is lap 1 of leg number 3. Tigers have retaken the lead. Desert Edge running second. Candy View in third. Agua Fria a good half lap back. So Candy View running strong, trying to make up some ground. One lap to go on leg number 3. So Candy View now making a move on that back half of the track. Desert Edge is now back in third. So here we go. One exchange to make here. Candy View and Millennium now neck and neck. Millennium's going to get the baton first, although not by much. Desert Edge has fallen back to third. And here we go. And here come the Jaguars. So great third leg there by Canyon View. And Desert Edge making up some ground now on Millennium as well on that back half. So we're sitting at just over 9 minutes. So Canyon View's top time this year is 9:59. Obviously, they won't get that here, but the Jaguars' top team is currently second in the state, according to AZ Preps 365. Ran that earlier at the Mountain Ridge Invite. So they're trying to chase down Ironwood Ridge in the D2 state title for the 4x8. And they are out front, opening up a sizable lead. Millennium running second, Desert Edge in third. And Canyon View making their final turn, so it looks like they're going to win this pretty easily. Slight chance she could catch the Agua Fria runner, who's still got a lap to go. So Canyon View coming down the home stretch. They're going to win this opening race of the Agua Fria Championships. And they will cruise to a win in the 4x8. Millennium is in good shape to finish in second as they come around the final turn. So Canyon View's time is going to be roughly 10:54. Here comes Millennium, followed by Desert Edge. And then Agua Fria's still got a good 3/4 of a lap to go. So they'll finish in fourth. So good opening run here for the Canyon View girls. Again, they're the heavy favorites in this meet. And next up is going to be the boys. So the boys 4x8 are going to make their way to the track. So Agua Fria still coming around, so that will do it once she crosses in the girls 4x8. So here comes our final runner down the straight away, final 100 meters. So that will do it as the Agua Fria runner crosses the line. So next up is going to be the boys 4x8. And this should be a little more competitive. So as the boys come out on the track, so same setup. We'll have Millennium, Desert Edge. I do not see an Agua Fria team out there, and I do not see a Verado team, so it looks like we may just have three, Canyon View, Millennium, and Desert Edge. So it'll be a small race. Millennium would be the favorite, pretty much the heavy favorite. Millennium is the defending 4x8 state champs in Division II. This is not the exact same team that ran last year in the 4x8 state championships, but a lot of the same runners. Alex Saldamondo, Courtney McLeese are down there. Jalen Ingram will lead things off for Millennium. This looks like Jason Carter will run the first leg for Canyon View. So Millennium comes in currently, according to AZ Preps, is the fifth fastest time in Division II, although they have run a lot faster. They also have not run their top team to this point, although they did put together around an 8:13 in Arcadia a couple weeks ago. And here they go. So Jalen Ingram, Jason Carter, Desert Edge, only 3 schools representing, and the 4x8. So they are off. These teams should come in, you know, in kind of the low to mid 8-minute range. Each one of these guys should be running roughly a 2-minute 800. So Jalen Ingram pacing himself. Jalen is senior. In fact, this entire 4x8 team for Millennium are seniors. He'll hand off to Nick Daniels, who'll run the second leg. Looks like Xavier Cosme, it looks to be down there for Canyon View on the second leg. So here comes Jalen. He's out front. Desert Edge second. Canyon View in third. Jason's in third. 1 lap to go, first leg. So all these runners cross roughly a minute, about 60 seconds. So Jalen out front. So Millennium's biggest competition at state figures to be Castile and possibly Williams Field, although Ironwood Ridge has a good time too for Division II. So Jalen Ingram looking strong. Out front, he's coming down the final straightaway. So here comes Ingram. He'll pass off to Nick Daniels. He'll have roughly 20-meter or so lead. And here goes Daniels. So he's off, crossing at about 2:05, 2:06. And Nick Daniels should run about the same time in this second leg. He's right about a 2:05, 800-meter runner. Desert Edge coming in second. Here goes Xavier Cosme in third. He's got a lot of ground to make up. Although Canyon View's top runners should be running the last 2 legs. And you saw what happened in the girls' race as Canyon View was sitting in third through the first 2 legs and then made up significant ground in leg 3. So Daniel's coming around. Final turn of his first lap. Desert Edge is in second. And Canyon View in third. So how this meet will work, top 4 relays will score points. 8 points going to the winner, 6 to second place, 4 to third, and 2 to fourth place. In the individual events, it'll follow the same format, although it'll be the top 5 runners will actually earn points. 8 points going to the first, 6 to second, 4 to third, 2 to fourth, and 1 to the fifth place winner. Medals will be awarded at this to the top 3 teams, or top 3 runners individually, and the top relay team in each event. So Nick Daniels out comfortably. He's on the back stretch. He'll hand off to Courtney McLeese, who's one of Millennium's fastest distance runners. Senior, headed to Air Force Academy next year. So here comes Daniels around the final turn. And McLeese will have a big gap to work with here. See what the times look like. Again, Millennium's not coming out looking to break records. They're just trying to win this. So Jalen Ingram split about a 2:05. Nick is going to cross about the same, roughly 4:10. So he ran, again, roughly a 2:05. And here goes Courtney McLeese. And McLeese, I would assume, because he's got a few races later in the day, is going to go into cruise control as long as this isn't close. So I don't expect him to come all out. Millennium boasts a very deep distance team, so they have 5-6 runners that can all compete. So McLeese is scheduled to run the 800 and the 1600 meter later today. So Desert Edge is running second, excuse me. Canyon View out in third. So there's McLeese. So McLeese crosses lap number 1. He's out front. Desert Edge is sitting back. But not a huge threat to Millennium. Again, McLeese is not going full speed at this point. Seen him run a number of times through the cross-country season and in track. So he will turn it on if it gets a little closer. But he will hand off to Alex Saldamondo, who is arguably one of the better distance runners in the state, and definitely in the district, in the mile, 2 mile, and also a very fast 800-meter runner, and has dabbled in the 400 a little bit this year. So Courtney McLeese coming around, final 100 meters. So here comes McLeese. So handoff goes to Alex Saldamondo. Saldamondo is actually a sub 2-minute 800-meter runner, so this shouldn't be close. But again, Saldamondo's running potentially the 800 and the 1600 later, just like Courtney McLeese. So Millennium should be in cruise control here on out. Desert Edge still running second. Canyon View gets the baton now in third. Following this race, there'll be a slight intermission as they set up the hurdles, and then we'll go right into the girls' 100-meter hurdles, followed by the boys' 110-meter hurdles. So here comes Saldamondo, 1 lap to go. Saldamondo is going to cross here about 7:25, 7:30 roughly. And again, very slow time, as Millennium is probably capable of running all out at running in the low 8-minute 4x8. So Alex Saldamondo will cross with a winning time for Millennium. So they take the 4x8. Desert Edge finished in second. And here is Canyon View coming across the line in third. So that's going to do it for the boys and girls 4x8, the first race of the day. So again, next up, we're going to go to the girls 100-meter hurdle race. And that should just be one heat. So you have 5 schools. Teams can enter up to 3 athletes in each event. But we will take a short break and come right back to you right here on CVTV Media with the girls 100-meter hurdles right after this. The hurdles are set, and the girls are out on the track warming up. So this will be the first race of the girls' 100-meter hurdles. So again, not 100% sure how many heats we have. It looks to be 2 runners out there currently from Millennium and Verado.
Yeah, camera 2, you'll just follow them. 1, you can...
So really, the question becomes how many runners are entered in each race, which we do not have official heat sheets at this point.
No, you don't have to zoom out at all. I think you'll be fine.
So they would likely run multiple heats with the so-called hot heat or the faster heat being the last one, which is likely where you'd see Annalise Taylor from Canyon View, who is one of the top hurdlers in the state and also likely headed to college to run track here next season.
Camera 1, you're live. And then camera 2, get ready.
So Millennium and Verado are in the middle lanes right now. Only 2 runners in this heat. So we'll run the girls' 100-meter dash first. Again, just to recap, in case you just joined us, we have long jump going on over in the pits. Some of the throws are going on, which is adjacent to our stadium in the northwest corner. We will try to bring you updates and video from those events, if possible, later in this meet.
All right, ready, camera 2. Camera 2, you're live.
So here we are. We're down in the blocks.
I'll have you say that right now. Next time I might have you like zoomed in way up.
Starters are ready.
But for
So
right now, you're fine.
these times likely to be a little bit slower. Now, a little strange. Obviously, the runners down on the track can hear, but we've had trouble hearing a gun or any sort of, sometimes there's a beep or some other type of starting sound up in the press box here.
Camera 2, you're live.
So they're in the blocks ready to go now. So first heat, girls 100-meter hurdles. They are off. Millennium out front. And Millennium looks like they're out over the final 2 hurdles, so they will cruise to a victory here, although the time looks to be around 18 seconds. So that likely would not score points, considering there's going to be more heats coming down the way here. So to give you a little perspective, Annalise Taylor has the top time in the state in Division II, and she put in 13.94. Although, again, she's run a little bit faster in some other meets that are not on our updated list. So here we go in heat number 2. And this is going to be the faster heat. So Annalise Taylor's there in the middle. You see her warming up in lane number 4. So Brooklyn Gazelle also down there. She's another top sprinter for Canyon View. Will also run the 300 hurdles. We'll likely see her in the 4x4. They're next to each other. Brooklyn is on her way to Colorado Springs to run track next year. Outstanding student in the classroom as well. Also an outstanding swimmer. So Millennium will be in the inside lane, and the 2 Canyon View runners are side by side, Taylor and Gazelle, in heat number 2, and this will be the hot heat. So we'll see what kind of times Annalise is. And they are off. Rado out also in lane Fig, and Annalise Taylor will not finish as she hit the first couple hurdles. Brooklyn Gazelle, though, is going to cruise and win this easily in a time of roughly 14 seconds. So unfortunate, Annalise Taylor hit the hurdles and was not able to finish. Hopefully she can bounce back in the relays later, and also likely, she's one of the favorites in the state championships, which will be held in a couple weeks out in Mesa. So now the hurdle crew's going to come in and move the hurdles. They need to move them back slightly and up for the boys, as the boys run 110-meter hurdles, not the 100.
Camera 1, you're live. Camera 2, you can go back over. So this time, camera 1, I want you to stay there, so both cameras on.
So again, we'll take a couple minutes here as they clear the track, clear the hurdles, but
And then camera 1, you're live still.
slight upset early here as Annalise Taylor not able to finish,
Camera 2, you're live.
as she is, again, one of the faster runners in the state.
Line up. You can zoom in on it. Actually, you can zoom on one right now. Same shot as you had before. That was really good.
So the event last year was also held at Canyon View High School, this district championships, although it was technically Millennium was hosted, but they had some issues with their track. So they
Camera 1.
were allowed to move it to Canyon View. So this is the second straight year this track championship has been held at Canyon View.
Stay still.
This year, Canyon View is officially the host, so it is their home meet.
Camera 1, you're still live.
So you'll see a lot of athletes from Canyon View, coaches, volunteers, really from all schools, helping with hurdles, helping timing with setup, with check-in, with checking marks for the jumps and everything like that, wind. So many people come into play to help make this event happen. So we're very thankful for our volunteers and staff here at Canyon View High School. So here are the boys. So again, 110-meter high hurdles now.
Yeah. So you can go like down. That would be an ultimate amount. All right, camera 1, you're live. Perfect.
It's going to take the hurdles a while to do this.
Go back to
One
camera
person on some of the other
2,
events,
live.
just FYI.
And we'll stay here until they get ready to go.
So following this race, they'll clear the hurdles, and then we'll run the 100-meter dash. Girls up first, and then the boys.
Camera 1, you can go back to zoom in on them again.
So while they set up the hurdles, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back here in just a minute. CVTV Media Live from the Agua Fria District High School Championships. So welcome back. They are ready to go now for the boys 110-meter hurdle dash. So again, we'll have a few heats here. Looks like we have a Verado runner in lane 3, 4, and 5 possibly, and then Canyon View in lane 6. So top 110-meter hurdle time in Division II is Josiah Wallace with a time of 15:10. Some of the top runners we could see later as they're off in heat number 1. Donovan DeLong from Millennium and Carson Eagers from Canyon View. As Verado out front in the middle of your track in lane 4. So Verado's going to finish 1, 2, 3. Canyon View will never mind. Verado will finish as the hurdler hit the last race or last hurdle and cross the finish line. So Canyon View finishes 3rd in your first heat. And now we got runners coming out getting warmed up for heat number 2. And again, this should be the faster heat. So runners are getting ready. Again, this will be the faster heat. So again, middle of your track is where we expect the tightest action to happen. We got Desert Edge in lane 2, Canyon View lane, Millennium lanes 3 and 4, Canyon View lane 5, Desert Edge in lane 6, Millennium 7, and Canyon View on the outside in lane 8 as well. So runners are in the blocks. This should be a fun one. Again, top time in the state coming in around 15 seconds. Times you see on your screen are unofficial. Official times can be found on race timers, and they are off. Donovan DeLong out fast, as is Desert Edge. Canyon View making a run. In the middle, it's going to be tight. Desert Edge digging in over the last 2 hurdles. And Desert Edge is going to take this. Millennium will go 2nd, Canyon View 3rd. So all 3 scoring points. And that will do it for the boys 110 hurdles. So next, the staff will clear the track, and then we'll run the 100-meter dash, which should be a fun one, especially on the boys' side, as we have some of the faster runners in the state in this district. So as they clear the hurdles, we're going to take a quick break here on CVTV Media, and we'll be right back with the girls 100-meter dash up first, followed by the boys. So welcome back. The girls are lined up here for heat number 1 of the girls 100-meter dash. So full field right here. Canyon View looks to be in, or looks actually check that. Millennium in lane 1 looks to be Desert Edge, pair of Desert Edge runners in lane 2. Canyon View, that looks to be Nija Green in lane 4, followed by Verado. And they're off. So here we go. Heat number 1. Nija Green out front for Canyon View. She's one of the top flag football players. And Desert Edge is going to edge her at the line. So Desert Edge will come in first, Nija Green. But again, that's not the hot heat. So that will be up next. So one of the top times in the state, again, according to AZ Preps 365, Devin Henderson from North Canyon ran a 12:08 earlier, although we expect some sub-12 times at the state championships. So Nia Smith down there for Canyon View, as is Annalise Taylor, who we just saw not finish in the 100 hurdles, which is a good sign. Doesn't look like she's hurt. So ladies are lined up, getting into their blocks, and that's Anaya Smith from Canyon View in lane 3. Annalise Taylor looks to be in lane 5, right in the middle of the track from the Jaguars. Agua Fria actually in Division 3, so they will not face Canyon View, the sprinters, until the open division of state. Yeah, there should be some fast times here. Agua Fria, your favorite. And they're off. Clean start, Millennium in lane 1. Agua Fria pulling ahead in the middle of the track. Anaya Smith trying to make up ground. Annalise Taylor there. But it looks like it's going to be Agua Fria, Canyon View following up in 2 and 3. So good race there. Have to check official times later if we had anybody sub 12. But great to see Annalise Taylor after hitting a couple hurdles early. Bounces back to compete in the 100-meter dash. So first heat of the boys 100 now will head out on the track as they get warmed up. So here we go, heat number 1. Boys are doing their final run-throughs.
Yeah, camera 2, don't move. Camera 2, you're live right now.
This next heat should be the faster one. which keeps it in perspective. If you're a fan of track and field, have been following it, our district, especially we factor in Desert Edge, Canyon View, Millennium, have some of the top sprinters in the state, which is very rare to be in the same district, in the same, roughly each school, 5 to 10 miles apart. But Desert Edge is up there, Canyon View. Don't know if Dwight Hamlin's going to run today for the Jaguars. Diego Stewart Aguirre, one of the top sprinters in the state for Millennium. You should see him in the 1 and the 2 in addition to the relays. So this heat is off. Desert Edge out front. Canyon View running 2. Agua Fria 3, although it's going to be close. Agua Fria, I believe, came in second. So that is it for heat number 1, and it looks like we're going to have possibly a third heat, so this will be heat number 2. The boys getting warmed up here. So thank you very much for joining us today, CVTV Media. You can check us out on Instagram at CVTVJags. Also check us out. Obviously, you found us on YouTube, which is youtube.com/CVTVJags. You can also check out all the latest Canyon View athletic news on cvjags.com. So heat number 2 is on the track, getting loose in the boys 100-meter dash. Following this event will be the girls 1,600-meter run. So here we go. So Canyon View is going to be, looks like in lane 3. Millennium will be in lane 5. To his right will be Verado, followed by Millennium, and then Agua Fria on the outside. So first 2 lanes are open. And they're off, so Millennium out fast. Verado giving chase, going to finish second. Millennium will finish first and third. Verado will take second. Look like Canyon View fourth, followed by Agua Fria. So lining up now will be heat number 3. And this should be an interesting one. So Dwight Hamlin is not going to be running, it looks like. He's been a little bit banged up. But Diego Stewart Aguirre will be for Millennium. It looks like he's going to be in lane 5. Actually, check that, lane 6. Well, lane 5. Hard to tell, as we have some open lanes here. Top time in the state is Jamar Beal Goings from Desert Edge. He's, again, a junior football player. He ran a 10.59 according to AZ Preps 365, although I know he's run faster in the 10.4s. At some of the other meets, Diego Stewart Aguirre is also running the 10.4s earlier this year at Chandler and some other races. So this should be a fun one. This could also be a slight preview of championship in D2, which will happen in a couple weeks out at Mesa. And these two guys have been battling out. Aguirre Stewart, Beal Goings, all year long. So this should be fun. So keep an eye on the middle of the track here. Desert Edge and Millennium. You'll see a lot of these runners shortly in a little bit for the 4x1 as well. And there they go. So Aguirre Stewart gonna chase down Desert Edge. Here they go. He's got a slight lead, and he will cross first. So there you go. So don't know the official time yet, but that's going to be in the low 10s. That was fast, and that was fun. So Aguirre Stewart's your 100-meter champion at the Agua Fria Track and Field Championships, edging Desert Edge.
Next up is going to be 1,600 meters. So it's, actually, they're lined up on the right side. So camera 1, you go lined up. Camera 2, you're lined up.
So again, check athletic.net and race timers for official times. But that was a fun one. So Diego Aguirre Stewart is going to be your 100-meter champion. As you see him at the finish line now, just getting their times. They will get their medals later on today. But Millennium takes the 100, which is critical 8 points for them as they try to hold off the Jaguars to win the district championship on the boys' side. So we're going to take a short break here, and coming back will be the girls' first 1,600-meter run. So we are back with the girls' 1,600-meter run, which is just off the way. The girls are going to be coming around the track here in a second on the back stretch. Very, very slow. race. So very, very slow race at this point. Landon LeBlanc looks to be out there, and she should win this thing pretty easily. Landon's been hurt for a lot of the year, but she is arguably the best distance runner in the state of Arizona. If she comes all out, she should run around a 5-minute or low 5-minute mile, which actually she ran, I believe, a 5:05 or right in that ballpark at the Scottsdale Distance Classic last Thursday. She's right there in kind of the middle of the pack, sitting about 4th or 5th back. Serenity Ariza from Canyon View is also one of the top distance runners. But Landon LeBlanc, make no mistake about it, will pull away at some point unless she's hurt. So LeBlanc's been battling injury for a lot of the year. Has only run in a few races, but she's ready to get back and gear it up here before the state championships, where she hopes to repeat in the 16 and possibly the 32. She was the state cross country champion in Division II. And she's sitting in 4th place right now, kind of checking her watch.
So camera 1, ready, camera 1, you go live. Camera 2, you can go to the front of the pack too and zoom in on the girl in front.
So the girls are coming around the back stretch of lap number 2, Canyon View out front, and here comes LeBlanc, kind of starting to chase her down. So the boys will be up next. This will just be one heat, as you can run multiple girls in this. So Ariza from Canyon View is out front, but LeBlanc's going to pass her now on this final straightaway of lap number 2. Time's not going to be great for LeBlanc. But again, she is the heavy, heavy favorite in the 1600 and the 3200 for the girls, on the girls' side. LeBlanc is going to be heading to Oregon next year on a track scholarship. Ryan Malara is also a good distance runner for Millennium. But Canyon View sitting in 2nd place right now. And then Verado's in 3rd, followed by Millennium. Again, in these individual races, top 5 will score points for their team. So there's LeBlanc, kind of in cruise control at this point. So LeBlanc coming around. This is lap number 3, so 1 lap to go. Canyon View sitting in 2nd. Millennium 3rd. Verado in 4th. Millennium is back in 5th as well, followed by Jada Reynoso from Canyon View. So LeBlanc starting to open up a little bit here. And next up, the boys should be an interesting one, too. So LeBlanc is going to cruise. Millennium has one of the top distance teams in the state on the boys' side, and obviously LeBlanc on the girls' side. The boys coming up in a little bit here were the cross-country champions in Division II, and a lot of those same runners should be running here in the 1,600 meters at the championships. So LeBlanc will come around the final straightaway, and she's going to cruise to a win. Canyon View, Serenity Ariza going to finish in 2nd. The race for 3rd through 5th is going to be a little bit tight, as you see LeBlanc coming around. And so LeBlanc is going to cross the finish line in first, followed by Serenity, Rizda, and now a contingent of runners. It looks like Millennium. Ryan Millara is going to finish third. Millennium will also get fourth, so picking up some valuable points. And Verado looks to be coming down the final 20 meters in fifth. Jada Reynoso will finish in sixth for Canyon View. So good race all around there. Millennium takes 1, 3, and 4. So last few runners kind of coming around. The final straightaway. Landon LeBlanc is your winner. And then next up is going to be the boys. So Desert Edge is going to be coming across the line here. It's your last finisher. The boys are making their way out to the track. And so we'll have just a short break here before the boys get going. So boys are going to be up next. We got, oh, sorry, one more runner coming through. Still, looks like Desert Edge. Nice sportsmanship there. And now the boys are going to make their way out to the track. So this is going to be an important race for Millennium in terms of the overall team point situation. You have 3 Millennium runners, Carson Seeker, Courtney McLeese, and Alex Saldamondo running for Millennium. They are hoping to go 1, 2, 3 in all the distance events, meaning 800, 1600, and 3200 here. They already won the 4x8. McLeese and Saldamondo ran for Millennium. Canyon View's got 3 runners right to the Millennium runners right. But really in the mile, it should be the 3 Millennium runners finishing 1, 2, 3. Saldamondo, the fastest, ran a 4:23 last week at the Scottsdale Distance Classic. And they are off right now. Again, Millennium boasts a deep distance team. They also have Ben Udall, who's not running today, and Armando Vega, who we might see in the 3200. Both are some of the faster distance runners in the district, if not the state. Courtney McLeese ran a 4:34 at the Scottsdale Distance Classic last week, and Carson Seeker ran a 4:36. No one for Canyon View is really in that ballpark. So Saldamondo and Seeker out front, 1 and 2. McLeese kind of sitting back here on lap number 1. So again, time on the screen is unofficial, but we will see. So Saldamondo, Seeker, tight race at the front of the pack right now. Canyon View 2 runners sitting in 3rd and 4th. McLeese in 5th. So Verado's got 3 runners. Desert Edge only with 1 in this race, and Agua Fria has 3 runners. So Saldamondo and Seeker still out front in the lead. So here on the backstretch of lap number 2. So Saldamondo and Seeker still running 1 and 2. Candy View in 3 and 4, McLeese for Millennium in 5th. But you would expect McLeese to make a move here soon as they come across in lap number 2. So McLeese might be trying to save some energy for another race, but you would expect him to pick it up here as Saldamando and Seeker out front. Saldamando should be running the 800 later. Carson Seeker will likely run the 3200. So unless this gets close, you would not expect them to go all out. Again, both have run in the low 4s, 420, 430-ish mile. So coming around lap number 3. McLeese also scheduled to run the 800 later. He did run the 4x8 earlier. So coming up with 1 lap to go, and now McLeese starting to make his move. So here goes the Tigers. Again, we'll see if McLeese decides to open it up here just to give a little ground, although Candy View's giving chase right on his tail as Saldamano and Seeker still out front. Top time in the state is from Donovan Biddix of Horizon in Division II. He ran a 4:14 at the Scottsdale Distance Classic last week. So we do not expect those times to be anywhere near that here. But here comes Saldamando picking up some speed. Carson Seeker running second. Courtney McLeese going to cruise in third as they head down the last 50 meters of this race. So Saldamando starting to open it up. Here comes McLeese. Candy View looks to finish in 4th and possibly 5th, although Verado's making chase in the back. So 1, 2, 3 for the Tigers. Candy View officially across in 4th, and this is going to get interesting in 5th, although Candy View is going to hold him off and cross in 5th. So picking up a point there in the 1,600-meter run. So that's going to do it for the mile. Next up, we have the 400-meter dash. Girls will be up first, followed by the boys. But there is a look at the finish line. We got one more Desert Edge runner to go and also an Agua Fria runner coming around the last turn momentarily. So congratulations to all the athletes that are competing here today. So here's the last finisher from Agua Fria. Congratulations to him. And that's going to do it for the boys 1,600 meters. So again, upcoming schedule. Boys 400 meter, girls 400 meter dash followed by the boys, and then the 300 meter hurdles, and then we'll have the 800. So a couple of these runners you just saw in the 1,600 will be back for the 800. And then we go 200, 2-mile, 3,200 meter run, and then the 4x4 will close us out. So we're moving along nicely. Good pace here at Candy View High School for the 2024 Agua Fria Union High School District Track and Field Championships. So welcome back to the Agua Fria Union High School District Track and Field Championships. We are all set to go in the girls 4x1. So girls 4x1 will be up first, followed by the boys 4x1. So Millennium, is going to be in lane 2. Desert Edge will be in lane 3. Canyon View in 4, and Verado in 5. Does not look like Agua Fria is going to send a team out there in the 4x1, which isn't a huge surprise. They have one of the faster 100-meter sprinters in the state, but not a deep team, and you want to try and conserve energy. Canyon View does come in with a time of 47.83, one of the faster times in the state if they run their top teams. But again, a lot of strategy goes on here in terms of scoring points. Nyjah Green looks to be up first for Canyon View. So if you're unfamiliar with the 4x1, this will be one time around the track. 4 different athletes will get the baton. They have to pass it within a certain passing zone, or they can be disqualified. So it doesn't always come down to your 4 fastest runners. It comes down to who can get the baton around the track. So again, Nyjah Green, who you saw in an earlier heat, you will see her right now leading off things for the Jaguars. Boys 4x1 will be up next. So timers are getting set. So yeah, it does not look like any of these teams will send their top 4 out. So again, Tigers in lane 2. Desert Edge Scorpions in 3, Canyon View 4, and Verado will be in 5. Agua Fria not sending a team out in the girls 4x1. This will be your one and only heat. So again, Agua Fria does have the top 100-meter runner, one of the top 100-meter runners in Division 2, but she will not be running here because you do not want to use her energy in a race that you don't have a great shot to win, as they are off. So Nyjah Green running hard, and she's making up some ground on the turn. We'll make the pass here. Second, pretty close there, as Verado and Canyon View out, but Millennium's coming on strong on the inside. See who gets the baton first. Looks to be a pretty even exchange. Verado got it slightly maybe ahead of everybody else, although it's pretty close. And here they come around the last exchange. Canyon View making up ground. They're going to probably pass first, and they will. So here they go down the home stretch. Canyon View and Verado. Millennium 3rd, Desert Edge 4th. And here comes Verado chasing her down, and she's going to get her and nip her at the finish line. So it'll be Verado first, Canyon View second, followed by Millennium and Desert Edge. So that'll do it for the girls 4x1. So congrats to Verado on their district championship time. So next up will be the boys, which should be an interesting one. So Diego Aguirre Stewart, who just won the 100-meter championship in a slight upset in the 100-meter dash earlier today. He is in lane 3, Desert Edge in 4. Canyon View will be in 5. And Verado, or excuse me, yeah, Verado is going to be on the outside. in 6. So Agua Fria, again, not sending a 4x1 team out for the boys. But we're going to see how this works out. Again, all things being equal, the state championships, in about another 2 weeks, Canyon View, Millennium, and Desert Edge in the 4x1 should be 3 of the faster teams in the state if all their top guys are healthy and running. You will not see that here today. We mentioned before, Dwight Hamlin, one of the top runners at Canyon View, will not scheduled to run today. Canyon View hit, unfortunately, with a little bit of an injury bug. Santino Varvel, who's the defending 300-meter hurdle champion, has not been able to run this year due to an injury. He is also headed to play football next year at Furman, so he's not here. So you hate when you don't see the teams at full strength, but this should still be a fast race. And if Millennium on the boys' side can sneak out a first place win or even second, that would be huge in the overall point standings. So they are off. Verado out fast on the outside, although we'll see who gets the baton first. Looks like Desert Edge. Here comes the Tigers, though. And the third exchange is off. Little trouble for Millennium. And Millennium is there. Canyon View's falling off. They will not finish. And here comes the final. Desert Edge looks like they're going to take it. Millennium's going to get second. Verado third. So Canyon View unfortunately couldn't get the baton around. But congrats to the Scorpions on their 4x100 meter relay winning time. So in a minute here, we're going to try and bring you as much other action as we can from around the track. The jumps are going on, triple jump, long jump. Actually, long jump was up first. We've also had some action over the pits and the throws. So here's a quick video from some of the highlights from the girls' pole vault and high jump, which you will see. We will try to get you official results as soon as we can. But very competitive and good jumping here from all the athletes involved. Those events are happening on the other side of the track. So now you get to see some of the girls' high jumpers. Again, top 5 in each event will score points. And sometimes in the case of like the boys last year, every point is crucial. So next up on the track is the girls' 400-meter dash as the athletes are down there in the blocks making their way through their warm-ups. So the 400 meters looks to be Verado in lane 2. Lane 1 is empty. Millennium will be in lane 3. Lane 4 is empty. Verado in 5, Millennium 6. And it looks to be another Verado runner out on the outside as well. So again, girls 400-meter dash followed by the boys. Then we'll clear the track and go to hurdles. So the girls are getting ready to go. Looks like we might have 2 heats of this. Runners are in their blocks. And they're off. Clean start. Again, this will be the slightly slower of the 2 heats. So Millennium on the outside. Verado making a strong push on the inside lane. Verado and Millennium look to be the first 2 around the final turn. So this is 1 time around the track. And coming around the final turn, Verado with a slight lead over Millennium, although it's really close. Millennium also sitting in 3rd as they come down the home stretch. So Millennium up a step, Verado chasing away, and now the second Millennium runner is coming up behind. Looks like she will cross and finish in 2nd. So Millennium's going to take this 1 and 2, and Verado will go 3 and 4 in heat number 1. Verado also coming across here now in 5th place. So the slower the 2 heats can score points, although typically you would see the top 5 runners in so-called hot heat, which will be this one coming up on the track. So Canyon View in the second heat is going to take up lanes 2, 3, and 4. Anaya Smith out there. Great student in the class and also obviously outstanding sprinter and track athlete. She's right there in the middle of the track. Also likely we'll see her in the 4x4, which is the final event of the evening. So girls are in the blocks now. Second heat of the 400-meter dash. Got a strong contingent from Canyon View in lanes 2, 3, and 4. Agua Fria in lanes 5 and 6. Millennium on the outside in lane 8. Nia Smith out strong, as is Agua Fria. Here comes Smith down the backstretch. Agua Fria still with a lead. Here comes Smith. Verado in 3rd. Or check that, Desert Edge in 3rd. Very close right now for spots 3, 4, and 5. Agua Fria out front. Smith giving chase. Can Smith get her on the backstretch? Canyon View will likely finish in 3rd, Agua Fria 4th, but first place is going to be the Agua Fria Owls, as Smith will take 2nd. Followed by Canyon View and Agua Fria officially. So great competitive race there. Again, times on your screen are unofficial, but that was a fun race. So next on the track will be the boys, and we'll likely have 2 heats of the boys. 300-meter hurdlers will be next on the track. So we'll have a short intermission after these boys' races while they get the hurdles out. So a lot of racing still to go. We're roughly halfway through today's competition. No official point totals yet, although the Millennium boys are looking good. On the girls' side, Canyon View seems to be out to a pretty comfortable lead at this point. So boys 400 up next. They're out on the track warming up, and not sure at this point how many heats we'll have. You would expect 2. So we got 2 runners here warming up, 3 runners, check that, warming up. Verado will be in lane 2, Agua Fria in 3, and Canyon View in 4 for round number 1. So we'll see what the times look like here. So times are up. Canyon View out front early. 1 time around the track. So Canyon View out front, Agua Fria in second, although Verado is right there with them. So again, this is heat number 1. Good, strong race for the Jaguars. Some of the top times in the state will be roughly between 45 and 50 seconds. Top times in the nation is here comes Verado. So Verado chasing down the Jaguars. Can he catch him? No, Canyon View is going to edge him out and fall across the finish line. Verado finished second, Agua Fria in third. But again, that is heat number 1. So the faster heat will be up next. And this one should be fun. So here we are.
This is the final call for the 300-meter hurdle. Boys and girls, once again, this is the final call. Boys and girls, 300-meter hurdle. On the track right now, the hot heat for the boys.
So boys 400 up next. And this is the fast heat. So we got Verado full. It looks like a full track. So Verado in lane 1. Millennium will be in lane 2. Canyon View in lane 3. So boys are warming up. Jaguars have one of the top 4x4 teams in the state, both the boys and girls side. Millennium's right there with them when it comes to the overall standings. So again, hard to tell who's going to be running their top guys, who's healthy. So again, just to recap, Verado in 1, Millennium 2, Canyon View in lanes 3 and 4. Millennium will be in 5. Lane 6 is open. Looks like we have Desert Edge on the outside in lane 7, and then Agua Fria on the very south side of the track in the far lane 8. Runners are in their blocks. Gun is up. And here we go. Desert Edge out very fast on the outside, but here comes Canyon View in lane 3. They're down the back straightaway. Jaguars making their move in lanes 3 and 4. Millennium trying to stay close. Round the final turn, and this is going to be tight. We have a lead group out front with 2 Canyon View runners and 1 Tiger. And Canyon View starting to pull away. Looks like they have a good shot to go 1 and 2. Millennium giving chase. Looks like they will finish 3 and 4, but a very good race for the Jaguars. And it looks like Desert Edge might be in 5. So good race all around. That will do it for the boys and girls 400-meter dash. We're going to take a short break here as they set up the hurdles. So next up on the track will be the 300-meter hurdles, girls followed by the boys. And then the 800-meter run and the 200-meter dash. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at Canyon View High School. So welcome back. We are all set to go in the girls' 300-meter hurdles. So the ladies will start on the far side of the track, finish at the finish line. They will start in a staggered start. So the girls are here off in heat number 1. Just 2 runners here, Agua Fria and Verado. Again, the faster heat will be up next, which should feature Brooklyn Gazelle from Canyon View, along with possibly Annalise Taylor. Agua Fria out front, although actually Verado now has taken over the lead. She's over the hurdle first, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, so at this point, you might just have to reach out to the community because by trying to reach out to CAC, they go through
So here we go down the backstretch. Agua Fria, Verado neck and neck in heat number 1. Verado running in lane number 3. She's over the hurdle first and starting to pull away with one more hurdle to go. And Verado is going to cross the finish line in first. So congratulations to her. Agua Fria will finish second. And next up will be the hot heat of the girls' 300-meter hurdle dash. And again, a couple of the top hurdlers in the state, Annalise Taylor and Brooklyn Gazelle for Canyon View, who should both be running the girls' 4x4 later today. So the girls are up. So here we are, starting blocks. This should be fun as you got 2 teammates. And they're off. So here goes Canyon View. Again, middle of the track is where the action will be. Taylor over first, Gazelle right there with her. Both elite runners. We got Millennium in the inside. Again, trying to score points. Every point matters, but here comes the Jaguars in 1 and 2, and they're going to pull away fairly easily as Canyon View looking very strong in the 300 hurdles. So Jags are going to go 1-2. Have to check on times. Millennium will cross in third. Pick up 4 points, and also in fourth. Desert Edge will take fifth, Verado sixth. So next up will be the boys' 300-meter hurdle. So hurdles stay in the same spots. They just go up slightly. So hurdles are getting exchanged as we get ready to go for the boys' version of the 300 meters. Again, kind of unfortunate we aren't able to see Santino Varvel defend his state title for Canyon View, but still got some faster guys here. The question is, unfortunately, Diego Aguirre Stewart will not be running for Millennium in the 300 hurdles. He has one of the faster times in the state, but he's choosing to run other events. You've already seen him in the 100 and the 4x1. He'll likely be running the 2 and possibly the 4x4 this evening. So the boys are up on the track. Likely we'll be looking at 2 heats of this race.
If you're running the 800 meters, please check it right now. Boys are up in the heat, please check it.
So boys are over on the far side of the track. And we're ready to roll. In heat number 1, boys 300-meter hurdles.
You guys want to make the announcement of the results? The top 3, so.
So boys are up here. Verados looks like they're in lanes 3, 4, and 5, although again, they're kind of standing around at this point. Hard to see who's in what lane and who's actually staying behind for the next heat.
I think it's up to 300, I'm not sure.
We're going to try and bring you updates and results from the field events as we get them. As well as overall results as well. So it looks to be 4 athletes lined up in this first heat of the boys 300-meter dash. So the boys are in the blocks. Looks like 3 Verado runners and a Caney View runner on the inside. And there they go. So Verado over first, out in lane 3. Caney View making up some ground on the inside, although Verado is out front. So Verado's going to take 1 and 2. Looks like Caney View and Verado are tight for third in this race. Hard to see who got them at the line. But that will do it for heat number 1. So heat number 2 up next in the 300-meter hurdles. So congratulations to all our runners there as we get set for heat number 2. Athletes are on the far side of the track going through their warm-ups. Donovan DeLong should be running for Millennium. Jaden Spiewak is scheduled to run for Desert Edge. He was a state finalist last year in Division II. So boys 300-meter hurdles. This will be the hot heat. Again, medals on the line for the top 3. Team points on the line for the top 5. So top time in the state is actually Diego Aguirre Stewart, who is not out there running for Millennium. He ran a 37.89 over at Desert Mountain. Second fastest time is Dayon Green, who ran a 39.89. Cole Rogers scheduled to, looks to be out there running for Desert Edge. He's run a 41.22, good for 8th in the state. Desert Edge has a actually contingent of good hurdlers, all in the top 15 in terms of state times. We mentioned Spiewak. He's run a 42.23, although he's been battling injuries. And here they go. So lane number 2, or race number 2. Spiewak looking strong. He's over the hurdles first. And never mind, he hit the hurdle and went down. So very unfortunate. Desert Edge is still out front in the middle of your track. And Desert Edge is coming down the home stretch, and they're going to win this. Desert Edge looking to take second, although he hits the hurdle. Canyon View, Millennium, close for second place. I believe Millennium's going to edge him at the line. Hard to tell, so it looks like Millennium took second. Canyon View and Desert Edge 3 and 4 in some order. So good race there. So again, Desert Edge, congrats to them. They took at least 2 of the top 3 spots in the boys 300-meter hurdles. So next up on the track, they're going to clear it, and then we are going to come right back with the girls' 800-meter run here in just a few moments. So next up on the track will be the girls' 800-meter run. So it looks like Lana LeBlanc is down there for Millennium, which is a little interesting. She's not really known as an 800-meter runner, although she will likely win this. Trying to score some points for the Tigers. So the girls are lined up, 800-meter dash, full stable of runners. Again, each team is eligible to enter up to 3 runners. You see Landon LeBlanc in lane number 1. You would assume this will be the only time you'll see her run the 800, as she's very unlikely to run it at state. Same with the 4x8. Three Canyon View runners to her right. And there goes LeBlanc. So we're going to see what her time looks like. But this should be interesting. Was not expecting to see Landon out here in the 800. But after an easy win in the 1,600-meter run just a little bit ago, she's feeling good enough to run the 8. We will likely see her in the 3,200 as well later this evening. So LeBlanc's top listed 800-meter time is 2:17:53. And she's out comfortably as you see her coming around the straightaway on lap number 1. So 2 laps here, 800-meter dash. LeBron going to open this thing up. Canyon View in 2. Verado giving chase in position number 3. And there's Alexia Palomino in 4th. She ran a great leg in the 4x8 earlier. Carolyn McLeese for Millennium running in position number 5. Her brother Courtney McLeese, you saw him in the 4x8 and the mile earlier. So there goes LeBlanc. She'll win this easily. She's got about a half-track lead.
And in third place, Agua Fria. Please go pick up your medals.
So LeBlanc running solo. Have to check her time. Again, 2:17 is her top listed time. I doubt she'd come or try and push that here. But here she comes down the back stretch. Again, the time on your screen is unofficial, but she will likely beat that 2:17 at this point, as she's sitting in low 2s. And here comes LeBlanc. She will cross the line roughly in 2:14. So congratulations to her and the Millennium Tigers. Second place coming around now. We got a tight race between Canyon View, Rado giving chase, Kara McLeese and Alexia Palomino. And here comes McLeese giving a great race coming up down the backstretch. Looks like she's going to take 3rd as Canyon View will take 2nd. So Millennium's going to go 1 and 3. Hard to see who got 4th and 5th in what order. It was definitely Canyon View and Desert Edge. Couldn't tell who got who at the line, as the last few runners are coming across now for Agua Fria as they make their way down the backstretch. So congrats to Lane and LeBlanc. She's now won the 1600 and the 800. Again, very good chance we'll see her later in the 3200, which is a great sign because she's been hurt for a majority of the year, was unable to run in Arcadia due to an injury, and she was one of the top finishers last year as a junior in that meet. So next on the track will be the boys. So the boys are now being sent off the track. Again, we expect Millennium to have a strong showing here. They finished 1, 2, 3 in the 1600 on the boys' side, and they're sending out 3 of their faster guys in the 800. Courtney McLeese looks to be out there, Alex Saldamondo and Jalen Ingram, who are 3 members of their state champion 4x8 team. All are capable of running right around 2-minute 800 meters. Now, what's interesting is Saldamondo and Jalen Ingram have switched uniforms. You see McLeese, who's in more of the traditional distance uniform. Ingram and Saldamondo are in more of what you'd normally see sprinters wear, which could mean they're gearing up to run the 4x4 later. So now the runners are on the track again. Boys 800-meter dash. Millennium hoping to go 1, 2, 3 here to get those needed points. So Saldamondo on the inside. He comes in with an 800-meter time of 1:56.8. And here they go. So Millennium's going to go out front. We'll see if Canyon View tries to hang with them. Canyon View can possibly stay with them with a great race. It's going to be interesting. as they have a runner capable of running in the low 2s as well. McLeese in third, Ingram in second, Saldamondo in first. Canada sitting in fourth and fifth, followed by Verado, sixth and seventh, and then a pack of 3 off the lead. So here goes Saldamondo. He's coming down the straightaway. Ingram and McLeese. Here comes the Jaguars in fourth and fifth. And this is going to get interesting. Can McLeese and Ingram push it and hold off Canada with 1 lap to go in the 8? Millennium really hoping to get 1, 2, and 3. Canada is going to give it all they got. Try and break that top 3. Saldamondo out comfortably. Ingram in second. McLeese in third. Question here gets a little strategy. Is Millennium content just boxing in the Canada runner, not letting him get on the inside? And what kind of kick do we have coming around? So Saldamondo is out comfortably. He looks to be cruising to our win. Also, again, won the 1600 and ran the 4x8. So busy day for Saldamondo. Here we go, though. Here comes the Jaguars. We're going to try and make a run. Here goes Ingram and McLeese. This is going to be interesting. McLeese and Ingram in 2 and 3. Canada giving chase, but it's going to be McLeese in 2, Ingram 3. And Canada will finish in 4th and 5th. So congrats to the Tigers. Go 1, 2, and 3. Also went 1, 2, and 3 in the mile. So that just leaves the 3200. So we have the last few runners finishing up for Verado, and then 2 runners coming down the backstretch for Agua Fria. And that's going to do it for the boys' 800-meter dash. Next up on the track will be the girls' 200-meter dash. So we head from the distance or mid-distance to the sprints. So 200-meter dash is going to start on the far end of the track. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we will come right back with the girls' 200-meter dash here at the Agua Fria High School District Track and Field Championships. Welcome back to the Agua Fria Union High School District Track and Field Championships. We're getting ready for round one of the girls' 200-meter dash. Before we do that, we're going to bring you a little bit of highlights from the discus earlier today. So discus was happening out on the adjacent side of the field here. So you see some of the girls. We do not have official results yet, although we will bring those to you as soon as we have them. Boys discus will be competing soon, followed by the shot put. We will try to get you as many of the discus and field events as we can throughout the evening. So girls 200 up next on the track. So congratulations to all of our distance athletes. Or discus athletes, I should say. As the girls 200-meter runners are up. So 200-meter dash is up first. So again, not sure if we're having multiple heats, although looks like we might just have one. Agua Fria Canyon View figured to be a major factor in this race. So 200-meter dash is up on the track. As we are ready to roll. And again, hard to tell from our vantage point how many heats we're going to have. Looks like we might have two. And runners are up, and they are off. So, yes, we will have two heats. Canyon View coming around the track. In the inside, they are in first. Looks like that's Aaliyah Rogers. Yes, indeed. She's a starting point guard on the girls' state 5A championship basketball team. She's going to win this heat fairly easily. Again, unofficial time. But congratulations to Aaliyah. And now we'll take a look at heat number 2. So 3 more official races to go. 200 meters, followed by the 3,200, and then the 4x4, the signature event to close out the evening. We'll also have a throwers 4x1 relay, which is a non-scored event, but always a fan favorite. Trophy presentations will follow. So this should be a little bit faster heat, although Aaliyah Rogers is very fast again. Had an outstanding basketball season, just a sophomore, as the Jaguars beat Sunrise Mountain to capture the 5A state title. So girls 200 meters now. Heat number 2 is on the track, going through their final warm-ups. And here we go. So heat number 2. Again, hard to hear the gun, but they are off. So Canyon View and Agua Fria in the middle of the track are coming around fast. That's Anaya Smith sitting in second for Canyon View. Agua Fria out to take this. Smith will finish second. Agua Fria is going to finish third, and it looks like fourth, although Verado was right there too. So Agua Fria finishes 3 at least of the top 5 to score points. So great race there. So moving on over to some other events happening around the track. This will be the boys long jump, which happened earlier. It was a fun event. Check that. We'll get that right video queued up. But the boys long jump was a little bit earlier today. So at that event, unfortunately, Brian Raleigh, one of the jumpers for Canopy, one of their top jumpers, was hurt. So we do not, again, have official results from the boys long jump, but so great job there. We will also try and bring you the boys triple jump, girls triple jump, and girls long jump. So next up on the track is going to be the boys 200-meter dash. So next up on the track is the boys 200, heat number 1. So boys are coming around. They are going to be 2 Agua Fria runners as they head to the finish line here. And congratulations to both the Owls. So running 1 and 2. And next up on the track will be the faster heat of the boys 200. So this should be a fun one, too. Diego Aguirre Stewart is out there. Can't tell lane assignments. But coming into this race, you have Jamar Beal Goins, who finished second in the 100 earlier. He ran a 21.79. Diego Aguirre Stewart ran a 21.81. So they've raced earlier this year. Aguirre Stewart got him in the 100 earlier. Desert Edge came back to win the 4x1. So here is the boys 200-meter dash, the hot heat, if you will. Dwight Hamlin, again, Canyon View's top runner, ran a 22.08 earlier this year. He is not running. Khalil Galloway, also from Canyon View, with a very good time at 22.13. He is out there, it looks like. Can't tell lane assignments. Trey Peck, one of the top runners from Millennium, should be out there as well. Here goes heat number 2, though. So 2 Desert Edge runners coming around. We had 2 Agua Fria runners in the first race. Here goes the 2 Desert Edge runners. Or check that, Desert Edge and Verado. So Desert Edge is going to win heat number 2. Verado will finish in second. And now we have heat number 3.
That's confirmed, correct? It is confirmed that they are running the 3,200 boys and girls together, correct?
So last heat of the boys 200-meter dash. So again, got some of the top 10 runners in the state in this race. Unfortunately, won't see Dwight Hamlin. So here we go. Boys are getting ready. Beal Goins and Aguirre Stewart are going to be right next to each other in the middle of the track. At least that's how it appears here from our vantage point. Looks like Trey Peck possibly could be on the outside lane in lane 8. And this should be a fun one. Runners are down. Guns off. And here they go. Gary Stewart out fast, as is Desert Edge. And they're coming around the turn to the final straightaway. Can Aguirre Stewart chase him down? Here he goes. Kicking into hyperdrive in the last 100. Desert Edge is going to finish 2 and 3, but Aguirre Stewart is going to be your winner. Looked like Canada View took 4 and 5. So congratulations, Aguirre Stewart's having himself a day, winning the 100 and the 200. Again, slight chance we'll see him again in the 4x4 if he's got enough left in the tank. So next up on the track is going to be the boys and girls 3200. Just received word that they're going to run those events together. So girls and boys will be on the track together, which should be a little bit interesting, because that would mean Landon LeBlanc will be out there with the boys, which might mean she gets pushed a little bit. So we'll see what kind of time she puts in. If she's going to run, she's already run the 800 and the 1600. But LeBlanc's top time this year in the 3200 is 10:50, although I have seen her personally go much faster than that. Again, she's been battling injuries off and on all year. Just came back last week at the Scottsdale Distance Classic. They will give these athletes a little bit of time to relax and cool down, just because we do not have a lot of heats. Also need to move the timers back from the 200. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with 2 more events to go. 2 more scoring events, I should say, in the Agua Fria District High School Championships. So welcome back. We are getting ready for, looks like, well, originally we were told the boys and girls would run together, and now it does not look like that's going to be the case as the boys were just sent off the track. So it looks like we're going to go just girls, followed by the boys. So Lana LeBlanc's out there. For Millenniums, looks like we have 2 Tigers running. 2 Canyon View runners out there. Looks like Jada Reynoso warming up in the middle there in lane 3. So as you're following the video, we're going to do as best we can to stay with this, but we would expect Landon DeBlanc to open up a pretty considerable lead here. So we'll try and show you both her and the rest of the pack, depending on how fast she wants to come out. Again, she's already run the 8 in the 1600 today. So this should be her final event. So the blonde there on the inside looks like Serenity Ariza to her right. Believe that's Ryan Malara out there too for Millennium in lane 4. So immediately following this, we'll have the boys 3200 followed by the girls and boys 4x4. And that will do it for the scoring portion of this meet here at Canyon View High School. So the girls are ready. Timer looks ready. Starter getting set. And they're off. So here goes LeBlanc. Yeah, so this is a very slow pace for Lana LeBlanc, but she did this in the 1600 as well. So LeBlanc out front. Verado sitting in 2.
They told you they were going to combine the first one. Did it mean boys and girls, or did it mean heats?
So LeBlanc out for kind of a weekend stroll. Canyon View in 2nd, Verado 3rd, Ryan Malara in 4th, and then Jada Reynoso in 5th. Those are your top 5, but as you can see, LeBlanc out front early. Again, it would have been fun to see her run in with the boys. LeBlanc, I know, was hoping coming into this year, at least later in the meet, that she could make a crack at the 1,600-meter state record in Arizona. But not sure if she's healthy enough to go all out. Likely won't be really pushed till the open state. But LeBlanc is out front. So Millennium and Canyon View coming around lap number 2. Again, 8 laps in this race. After the first two, we have a pack of 3 runners, Verado, Millennium, and Canyon View. But it is all Landon LeBlond here early. So roughly 2:49 through her first few laps. And the boys' 3,200 meters is up next. Fortunately for all these athletes, unless they're sophomores, they do not have school tomorrow, as the Agua Fria School District is right in the middle of state testing. So only sophomores will be coming to campus tomorrow to take a pre-ACT test. Everyone else has the day off, so LeBlond will not be going to school tomorrow. She can rest up and start to switch gears as she heads to state championships. So LeBlond coming around. Canyon View still in second. So sitting at around a little over 4:30 for lap number 3. And if you're the rest of the pack here, you're excited to see LeBlond graduate. After having to chase her for 4 straight years. Again, LeBlond heading to Oregon next year to continue her track and field career. You see that second pack, a good chunk of the way back. But that should be a good finish between 3, 4, and 5. Again, all the top 5 will score points. Very critical. So LeBlond out front. Triple jump is also going on right now. So we see the boys out there. Again, we'll try to bring you updates when we can. No action over on the pole vault pit or the high jump at the moment. So LeBlond's going to cross her first mile, and now we are headed into lap number 5. Riza across as well. So LeBlond out on the back stretch. So pretty sizable gap between LeBlond and the rest of the pack. Although Canyon View trying to run with her. Like I said, it will be an interesting finish to see who can finish in 3, 4, and 5. Although Jada Reynosa from Canyon View starting to fade a little bit as we head into the back side of this 2-mile race. So LeBlond coming down the straightaway. She will cross here momentarily. And you see a good solid pack back there between 3, 4, and 5. Canyon View looks like they have second place wrapped up. So there you see Serenity Arista in second place. She's a good 50-plus meters behind LeBlanc. But very strong race for Serenity, as she was the top cross-country runner here at Canyon View this season and has had a very good season so far in outdoor track. So Ryan Malera there. She's currently sitting in third, Verado right behind her. And LeBlanc's going to be coming down the straightaway. As she passes a few runners on her way. Again, LeBlanc's top time is, well, this year, mark is 10:50. She has run faster, both last year and in other meets. She's got 2 laps left to go. And here comes Canyon View about to cross the line in second with 2 laps to go as well. So Serena Riza ran well in the mile, ran well in the 4x8. And here she is running well in the 3200. And she's got a good half-track lead on the 3rd and 4th place girl. Jado Reynoso coming down the straightaway for Canyon View is sitting in 5th. And next up on the track will be the boys 3200. So Lena LeBlanc will cross, and she will be heading on her last lap on her way to a district championship. So Landon LeBlanc, about 200 meters to go. Again, Canyon View still in second, no change there. Will be a fairly tight battle between Verado and Millennium for 3rd and 4th places. They're both finishing up their 7th lap. So LeBlanc coming across, and she will win this thing easily with a time of roughly 11.5 minutes. Canyon View now coming down the final straightaway, so Serenity will finish in 2nd. And she has a good half-track lead over the 3rd and 4th place as Verado's starting to pull away from Ryan Malara of Millennium for 3rd place. Although Malara not giving up. They have about 200 meters to go. So congrats to Canyon View. Very strong race there. So here we go, coming down the final straightaway. So Verado is pulling away. It looks like they will take 3rd place. Millennium is going to finish in 3rd, or excuse me, 4th. So congratulations to Verado, and there's LeBlanc cheering on her teammate. So congratulations there. So third and fourth is wrapped up, and now Jada Reynoso coming down the final 100 meters on her way to a fifth place finish. Reynoso just a sophomore, so has a very bright future ahead of her. So still a few more runners left to go. And then next up on the track will be the boys 3,200 meter dash. Again, Millennium has a strong group lined up. Caneyview coming out with Joe Ketchum, looks to be over there. His brother Sam was a senior last year, off running at the collegiate level. So we got a few more runners to go. Agua Fria still coming around. Verado crosses the finish line there. And we have one more Desert Edge runner on the back half of the track, and that should do it for the girls' 3,200 meters. So Agua Fria is going to cross the line here. And there you see the boys lined up waiting their turn for the 3,200. On the far right is Carson Seeker of Millennium, then Alexis Garcia second, and Armando Vega. It's good to see him back. He's there in third for the Tigers. So one more runner is coming around the track. So great to see this. Fans cheering her on. She's run a great race. This lady from Desert Edge. Down the final 60 meters of the 3,200 meter run. And next up on the track will be the boys. So two more scoring events to go. The trophies are already down right at about the 50-yard line. And here we go with the boys 3,200 meter dash. So, or 3,200 meter run, I should say. So again, three gentlemen on the inside. Carson Seeker, Alexis Garcia, and Armando Vega. It's great to see Armando Vega back on the track. He's been hurt for a lot of the year. He was a top cross-country runner for Millennium. He's just a sophomore. Also has some very fast times in the 800, 1600, as well as this race, the 3,200. Alexis Garcia, just a freshman. Millennium's choosing not to run two of their faster 3,200 meter runners, Courtney McLeese and Alex Saldamondo. You saw them in multiple races earlier. So Carson Seeker ran a 10:06 at Buckeye earlier this year. Also ran faster last week at the, or excuse me, ran a faster 800 and 1,600 meter time at Scottsdale Distance Classic earlier last week. So Joseph Ketchum out there again for Caneyview. Agua Fria's got three runners out there. Verado and Desert Edge with one runner in this race as Vega is out front. Looks to be a slower pace. Vega's going to take it out early. But again, he's pretty fresh as he has not run a meet in quite some time. So these runners should finish more in the low to mid 10-minute range, depending on how fast they're going to go out. Carson Seeker finished second at these championships last season. He is a senior. Vega, the sophomore, though, is out front early. Alexis Garcia is in second as they come around the home stretch of lap number 1. Last year's 3,200 meters, Carson Seeker and Joseph Ketchum, who he's right next to there. His brother Sam ran a great race. Close finish at the end with Carson Seeker able to get ahead at the line as Vega checks his watch and crosses lap number 1.
Ready, one go live. Two, just follow the guy first. Second, try to just get the two first guys.
So currently we have Millennium 1 and 2, Canyon View 3 and 4, Agua Fria 5, and then Millennium also in 6, although we expect that to change a lot here over these next 7 laps.
Ready, two, your live. One, you can zoom in a little bit more. There you go. A little bit more. Perfect.
So again, one more race to go after this. The girls and boys 4x400 meters. Still some events happening out in the field. It looks like the boys triple jump is still happening. The pole vault and high jump appear to be done. From our vantage point, we cannot see the throwing area, which is on the very northwest side of the stadium. So there goes Vega and Garcia. Canyon View sitting 3 and 4. Agua Fria 5, Millennium 6, and Canyon View 7. So here we cross in lap number 2 around a 2:30 time, which is a little bit slow for these guys. So we would expect them to pick it up here on the back half, I would imagine. So there goes Vega and Garcia. Garcia out front. Carson Seeker, you would expect to make a move here at some point, although it's still probably a little bit early as they cross in roughly 4 minutes. So Vega and Garcia on the far side of the track. Again, great to see Lexus getting a race here in freshman year.
All right, one, go to the left turn, just go wide shot. See everybody's
Two Canyon View runners, Seeker and Agua Fria, are in a kind of a second pack, if you will. Joe Ketchum not too far off that pace. So here comes Garcia and Vega. They are about to finish up mile number 1. Again, a little bit slower of a pace. Seeker starting to make his move as he finds a crease. So they're going to cross in a little over 5 minutes on mile number 1. Again, much slower pace than I think what they're used to as Seeker starts to open up here a little bit. So 4 laps to go. And the boys 3,200 meter. Again, Millennium hoping to take 1, 2, 3 to kind of lock in that district title. So Vega and Garcia, that's who you see on your screen. They are out front, the sophomore and the freshman. Seeker making chase in 3rd place. Candy View starting to fall a little bit off, although still having a strong race. Joe Ketchum starting to make a move. He's now in 5th and looks to be getting stronger. So here comes Vega and Garcia around the track. Seeker in 3rd. Probably a good 10 to 15 meters behind them. And there go the Jaguars. So Jaguars running strong in 4, 5, and 6. Agua Fria is sitting now in 7th and 8th place. Verado is coming in at 9th and 10th. So Garcia and Vega about to pass the runner here from Agua Fria. So here goes Vega. Here goes Garcia. We'll see who actually ends up finishing 1 and 2. Seeker giving chase in 3rd place now. So you don't hear the traditional bell or anything as they come around here. Still a few laps to go. So Millennium out front. Barring something catastrophic, they should finish 1, 2, and 3 in this 3,200-meter run. 4x400 runners are getting warmed up. Have not seen any throwers yet down getting warmed up for the 4x1. So Millennium hoping to bring that district title back. They're in good shape now as Seeker gets up with the lead pack. Garcia still running strong, as is Vega. So it's great to see those three going out together again, especially Vega, who's been hurt. Candy View sitting in 4th, 5th, and 6th, which is a very strong showing for them. So 1 lap now to go. Again, well off their fast pace, but still is good enough for a district championship for the Millennium Tigers. So Vega and Seeker, we're going to have to see who ends up finishing 1 and 2. So Candy View running well there. In 4, 5, and 6 still holding strong. And it looks like they'll finish in 4, 5, 6 pretty comfortably as Agua Fria has faded back just a tad bit, as has Verado. So coming down the final stretch is Armando Vega. He will be your winner in the boys 3,200-meter run. Carson Seeker will finish 2nd. Vega's time roughly 10:30. Carson Seeker will finish at about 10:35, and Lexus Garcia will finish behind him. So congratulations to Millennium. Have to see how Armando feels after his first run in quite some time, but he's got himself a district championship, so can't be mad at that. And Candyview will cross the line in 4th place. And here comes runners number 5 and 6. So Ketchum giving chase, but it looks like he's going to finish 6th. And here comes Agua Fria as they will cross the line in 7th. So congratulations to them. Agua Fria's got another runner that will finish 8th, followed by Verado. As this next Agua Fria runner you see crossing actually has one more lap to go. So that Verado finisher will be your 10th place finisher. So congratulations to all the runners. Next up on the track will be the 4x4, which should be a lot of fun. So we just heard the first call on the track for the throwers 4x1, which should be a lot of fun. So here we go. A few more runners still coming across. Looks like actually one more runner from Agua Fria High School. So congratulations there, as our last 3,200-meter runner is across. So next up on the track will be the girls 4x4. So that's one time around the track each. Again, Candyview comes in as the heavy favorites, boasting the fastest team in the state. We'll have to check and see if they run their top team or not. Brooklyn Gazelle, though, looks to be out there in the first leg. So as they get set up, we are going to take a quick break and come right back here to the final event of the Agua Fria District High School Track and Field Championships. So next up on the track, you can see the girls here. Last event of the night, the girls 4x4. Verado looks to be in lane 3. Oh, and here we go. So we're going to have a couple heats, it looks like. So actually, never mind. We're just going to have one heat. So one heat, 3 girls. We got Canyon View, Millennium, Verado. No team from Agua Fria, no team from Desert Edge. Brooklyn Gazelle out front. Again, each of these ladies will go one time around the track. So top time here is Canyon View, one of the top times in the state, in fact. They've run a 3:51 according to AZ Preps, but they've actually run faster. Brooklyn Gazelle had herself a nice afternoon as she's going to cross in first, Millennium in second, Verado giving chase in third. So Canyon View is going to get the baton first, and they are off. So Millennium's going to pass in second, Verado third. But Canyon View got a pretty sizable advantage here. So the Jaguars running very strong on the backstretch. Millennium's got a comfortable lead in second, Verado running third. So here comes the Jaguars. Down the final straightaway. Second leg, 4x4. And Millennium's looking very strong in second, given a charge. As the Jaguars are off, here goes Millennium. So Canyon View again's run sub 350 in this race, although this is not their quote-unquote A-team. Millennium, one of their best times this year is a 4:22. But again, not their A-team. Millennium is making it a race here on the third leg, but still got a lot of ground to make up. So Jaguars out front, coming down the final straightaway, leg number 3. And here goes Anaya Smith on the anchor leg. And as one of the faster runners in the state, they are not going to catch her. So here goes Smith. Smith just a junior. Tigers get the baton in second. So they'll pick up 6 points. And Verado coming down the straightaway, about to make their final pass. But Smith's already halfway around the track, and she will win this race running away. So Smith coming around. She's going to bring home the district title for Canyon View. And then we have Millennium will finish comfortably in second. So good race for them. So congratulations there. Verado still making their way around the track, about 150 meters to go. So good race here for the Vipers, as they will finish third, pick up 4 points in the overall team standings. So once she crosses, one more official race to go, the boys 4x4. So again, recap that race. Canyon View 1, Millennium 2, Verado 3. So you see there the runners at the start line. The boys are going to make their way out on the track here momentarily. And again, the question becomes, which teams are running? Which athletes are running? Is Millennium sending out Diego Aguirre Stewart? We know Dwight Hamlin will not be here for Canyon View, but they have a host of other 400 runners. Again, some of the top in the state. So this should be fun. But both Canyon View and Millennium are right around top 5 in Division 2. Millennium ran very, very well at the Arcadia Invitational a couple weeks ago in their 4x4. So we'll see who the Tigers send out. So it looks like we may only have 3 runners again here. Canyon View, Millennium, and Verado. I do not see Agua Fria or Desert Edge out on the track. And love to see this. I don't know if we can switch to a shot of the infield, but you got some of the throwers down there warming up, getting out of the blocks, getting ready to go for the boys 4x1 and girls 4x1 throwers race. So the boys 4x4 is on the track. They're getting ready to go. So Canyon View is going to be right in the middle of the track. Looks like lane 4. Millennium will go lane 5. Verado lane 6. So after this event, we will try to get you updated score as soon as possible. We will definitely carry the presentation of the trophy to each team. Individual medalers were able to pick up their medals earlier throughout the race, so there'll be no official presentation there. Just the team event, just the boys and the girls team championships. So here we go. Boys are warming up. 4x4. Last race of the day. So they are off. Far side of the track narrow. 1 lap around each athlete. Verado's out quick, but you would expect this to be a 2-team race with Millennium and Canyon View. Millennium making up the stagger. Canyon View coming around fast on the inside. So Canyon View is going to come around in first. Millennium is right there, so they're neck and neck. Verado also in the mix. Can they hold off? Here goes Canyon View's fading a little bit. And here we go with the first exchange. Millennium will get the baton first. And here we go. So I believe that's Donovan DeLong out there for Millennium. He is out first. Canyon View in second. Verado now fading back to third after a strong opening leg there. But here comes the Jaguars. So DeLong's digging in. Here comes Canyon View. Canyon View's going to pull slightly ahead, and they will make the third exchange in first. Here we go. Alex Saldamondo, though, is going to get the baton for Millennium. Saldamondo, Millennium's top 800-meter runner, also miler. Dropping down to the 4 here, and there he goes on the back stretch. And it looks like we're going to have Diego Aguirre-Stewart running the anchor leg for Millennium. So if he gets any kind of lead, the Jaguars are going to be in trouble. Here comes Saldamondo blazing down the straightaway. And he's picking up steam. Canyon View giving chase, but Tigers are going to get it first. And there he goes. Great third leg there by Saldamondo. Verado makes the exchange, so they're going to be in third. And now the question becomes, is Aguirre-Stewart going to go out or put this thing in cruise control and just try and hold him off for the win? So Millennium wants the district title. This should ice it if it's not already done. As Aguirre-Stewart looks back over his shoulder, and he's going to pick it up a little bit as Canyon View gives chase, but Aguirre-Stewart's got too much in the tank and had too big of a lead, as they will win first place in the boys 4x4. Again, a little unfortunate. Don't think you saw Canyon View's A-team. Also, though, don't know if you really saw Millennium's A-team. So they will likely race these up again in a couple weeks at the Division II state championships. So great race there. Congratulations to the Tigers on their win. And that will do it for the official scoring portion of the meet. And as you will see here momentarily, the big men are making their way out to the track for the 4x100 meter dash. So Millennium Tigers closing in on their district championship on the boys' side. So we'll see if we have all the teams competing, all 5 schools out here for the big man race. So as they tabulate scores and do some other stuff, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with the big men relay, followed by the trophy presentation. Welcome back. So official scoring is done. We're just waiting on the point tabulation for the winners. But up on the track now will be the 4x100 meter relay. Again, this is the big man version. So these are all your throwers are going to be out there. So not going to look quite as slender and lean as the normal 100 meter runners. But this is always a fan favorite and fun event. So the boys and girls, looks like it's going to be a mix of boys and girls. So all 5 teams will be competing. So here we go. So yeah, no blocks for this one. Likely won't see the runners. They are going to keep it on this side of the track. So that's why you see the runners facing the opposite way. This is definitely a fan favorite event. As you see, the infield is lined up. A lot of fans making their way down to the fencing area. So we have Verado in lane 1. Lane 2 looks empty. Lane 3 is Agua Fria. We have a mix of boys and girls. Millennium's going to be in lane 5. And Verado again. So definitely a different event, but always will always be fun. So again, Verado has a mix of girls and boys running. All the athletes from all of the 5 schools are making their way down to the infield. Starters ready. So here we go. Fun event here. So here we go. We are set. And they're off. So Millennium coming out in first. Again, they're going to make the pass down at the north side of the stadium. Millennium's going to get it there. Close race here between Millennium and Verado. Agua Fria in fourth. Here comes the Tigers. Here comes the Vipers. Exchange number 3 is made. Millennium and Verado. 2 ladies running for Verado. Fans are on their feet. Here we go. Oh, Verado drops the baton. Millennium drops the baton. And Verado's going to regroup and take this in 1 and 2. Millennium will finish in third as they point to each other, and Agua Fria is going to take fourth. So congratulations to all the athletes there. Such a fun event. And that's a wrap. So next up, the only thing left now will be the awards presentation for the boys and girls championships will be done right around midfield. The trophies are out. We are ready to go. So now it's just a question of who's bringing home that hardware. Millennium had a very strong showing on the boys' side. Canterview looked to be the leader on the girls' side, but nothing is official yet. So the boys and girls are kind of making their way down to the infield. So the Jaguars are the two-time defending district champs. Will they get their third title in a row? Again, kind of a precursor to the state championships here in a couple weeks out in Mesa. A lot of the athletes you saw here today will be competing there. Desert Edge had a tough meet today, losing their head coach just before the meet, or finding out officially. Millennium looked awfully strong on the boys' side, taking 1, 2, 3 in all the distance events, also taking the 4x8. Gary Stewart running a great race in the 4x4 and the 100 and 200. So we are going to take a commercial break, and after that we will come right back with the trophy presentation. So we are back. We have one more event now that's just finishing up. A little unexpectedly, we have a pole vault. Looks like a 3-man jump off from what we can tell. So a lot of the athletes heading over to the southeast corner of the end zone for the pole vault finals. Canada is about ready to make their next attempt. We just had a Millennium Jumper go, but unfortunately hit the bar, so it was not successful. So here goes the Jaguars. Up and did not clear. So again, this will be your final scored meet of the day, and obviously will have an impact on the overall standings. So we'll need to wait to see how this one ends up. So this looks to be attempt number 2. No, that was a practice run. So it looks like actually we might be having more of a fun race here. Hard to make out who's over there. So again, we're waiting on official results here. So the bar's not up. They're making way, but a lot of athletes over there. Judges are at midfield tabulating the final rounds of the results here. So as the athletes get going, we are going to take a commercial break and head back here to the championship trophy presentation. We are back with the championships trophy presentation. So the Millennium Tigers have just been announced as the winners of the boys 2024 Agua Fria District Championship. So Millennium is going to take the boys title. Verado finished second. So Millennium takes it at 147 total. Verado finishes second. Caneyview, which came in a little hobbled, finished down the way after two-time defending district champs. So here's the girls. So Verado's going to take third, Agua Fria fourth, Desert Edge fifth. So first place, the three-peat, goes to Caneyview on the girls' side. So Caneyview's going to take the girls' championship. Millennium will finish second. So Caneyview takes the title. Millennium will finish second with 100 points. Verado third, Agua Fria fourth, and Desert Edge fifth. So again, congratulations to the Millennium Tigers on the boys' side for winning the district championships, and the Caneyview Jaguars on the girls' side, who brought home the title once again. So it's going to stay right here at Jaguar Stadium. So thank you very much for watching. You can see some of the boys down there celebrating. The Millennium boys are down there. So congratulations to them, Coach Hannibal, Coach Raftery, and all the other staff members. Congratulations to the Caneyview girls. They are also down at roughly the 45-yard line. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to every athlete who competed. Next up will be the Division II State Championships in a couple weeks. It has been a pleasure being here with you tonight. On behalf of CVTV Media, our crew, Alex Harden directing, Victoria Alvarado, this is Sugatan, Brianna Raleigh, and Will Parker. I'm Jeff Seeker saying goodnight here from Jaguar Stadium.